it's Betsy, and I just got in my P. Louise Makeup Academy Worldie Pressed Pigment / eyeshadow palette. Now, because this is sold in America, it does have to say pressed pigment because some of these colors are not considered eye safe for America, which means it stains your eyes. Not that there's anything bad in it, it's just America's really weird about that. So this is what the outside of the packaging looks like, which it's doing the most. Like, it's got like sand in it. And this is a big beast of a palette. This, actually I weighed it because I watched Karen Harris's video on this before it came out. I watched Karen Harris and Katie Marie's videos both over it before I got mine in the mail today. And Karen was wondering what the weight of it was, so I went and weighed it on my postage scale. It weighs 1 pound 14.8 ounces, so it is almost a full 2 pound palette. That is huge. And I mean, it is a hefty palette, but it's pretty. It's just gonna be a pain in the hiney to store. So when you open her up, it looks like this. I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't love the color story, because this palette is, as I said, it's going to be very difficult to store. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the clear plastic piece that protects the shadows. And this is what she looks like. So there are 15 mattes and 3 shimmers, so it is an 18 shade palette, and it is gorgeous. The mirror on here is nice and big, and when you set it down, the mirror does stay open, so that is nice. But as I do the swatches, I'm not gonna sit here and hold the eyeshadow palette. I'll still show you the swatches just like I normally do, but I'm not gonna hold it. So we're gonna start off with the first row. Okay, so we've got Worldie, Europe, Sky High, San Francisco. So Worldie, Sky High, Europe, and Worldie, Europe, Sky High, and San Francisco. Trying to figure out how to do this because not get it all over my jewelry and wipe my fingers. So I think there is going to be some staining behind. I just have a white cloth towel over there. So next up is J'adore Paris, the Alps, Global, and Vacay. So we've got J'adore Paris, that's a beautiful dark blue shimmer. The Alps, love that shade. It's like a grungy teal. Global, which is a grungy teal shimmer. And Vacay, which is like a limey, bright yellow, which doesn't show up well on my skin. Let's see if I can get some of this blue off my finger. Okay. So as you can see, there's already some staining. Next up is When in Rome, Baggage, Big Apple, Rodeo Drive. Rodeo Drive is like the perfect Tiffany blue. So we've got When in Rome, which there really isn't a whole lot of difference between Vacay and When in Rome. I wish there was more of a difference. Baggage, I like Baggage. Big Apple, which is a great Kelly green, and Rodeo Drive, which is a beautiful bright Tiffany blue. Okay, next up we've got Luggage, Barrier Reef, Luggage, Lounge, and First Class. So we've got Barrier Reef, that is a beautiful teal. Luggage, Lounge, First Class. I love the First Class color too. Okay, I'm gonna wipe some of these away because my arm is not that big. Plus, it also kind of helps us know a little bit more about staining. Dry it off. I love these microfiber towels. I use them all the time. Then we have Down Under, Manchester, Explore, Destination, and Sunset. So, Down Under, that's a pretty color. Manchester, it's a beautiful warm brown. Explore, love that, it's like a khaki green. Destination, and Sunset. Those are beautiful. But I think today I'm going to do a blue eye look because I haven't done a blue eye look in I don't know how long, and I touched that orange shade, the Sunset, to my face. So I'm going to take and put on some eyeshadow primer, which I am just using my Pretty Vulgar one. It did come with a free sample of the P. Louise base, which I gave to Nadia because I have an open tube of the P. Louise base, which it's a good eyeshadow base. It's just I typically only like that one for when I'm doing like a cut crease or something like that, or I really need to pale down my eyelids. So I think we're gonna start off, this is the BK Beauty 201. You know how I feel about the BK Beauty brushes. If not, I do have a full review over them. And we're gonna go into the shade Worldie, which is like a pastel kind of blue. Which, again, blues on my skin are not always my favorite. But you know, I think like grungy greens and stuff like that. It's the real bright colors that are cool tone that don't work as well as some of the lighter ones. But I mean, as you can see, that's blending very nicely. And sometimes with pressed pigment palettes, you have to worry about the blend. But these are performing a whole lot better than the Colored Rain. It's like the Colored Rain palette, you couldn't blend it. And I don't want to discredit that that was a bad palette. It's just, it wasn't what I like or how I like to do my makeup. Because everybody's different and everybody's makeup style is different. So what I like to do may not be what you like to do. So I am just really softening that up and bringing it pretty high so it kind of covers all the extra darkness on my eyelid, because y'all know I have some hyperpigmentation on my eyelids and I should probably color correct them, but I don't want to, so I don't. Okay, so that looks really, really pretty. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and go into the shade Europe, which is the shade that was just a bit darker. I'm still using that same 201 brush and just using that in my crease, but not fluffing it out near as much as I did the Worldie shade. It's kind of funny that this palette came out, and I know they plan things a year or so in advance, most makeup companies, during the time of Rona. So that looks really, really pretty. I'm gonna take a clean brush. This is just Shanna B Miami. I think this came in like a boxy charm or something like that. Nipsey Gleam bag. And I'm just going over the edges just to make sure everything is nice and smooth. There we go. Now let's grab, this is the 202 brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Sky High, which is a good true cyan. This is what I would call a true cyan. This is like a printer color. And just use that just to deepen up that crease just a little bit more. And I'm gonna try to use as many shades as I can today, but I make no promises because I still want it to be wearable. Like, I don't want to muddy it. That is a beautiful color though. Like, I love a good true cyan. Okay, go back to that 201 brush and just really make sure everything is nice and soft and blended. Because that is my makeup style. I like things that are big and overblown a little bit. So this is the BK Beauty 205. It's more of like an angled crease brush, and I'm gonna go into the navy blue, that San Francisco shade. It picks up lovely. And I'm just keeping it really tight in that crease other than on the outer corner. But I do love navy blue. I don't know why I do. I absolutely, my elbow sliding on my table. I use my elbow because I shake a lot from my fibromyalgia to help keep me a little steady. I don't think people realize that, so. There we go. Now I'm gonna go back again to that 201 brush. And again, just blending like crazy. Okay, so I think for my eyelid today, all three of the shimmers in here are really dark, and I really don't feel like using one of those today. So I think I'm gonna go into one of my Natasha Denona Chromium Liquid Eyeshadows. I have been using these a lot lately. I have all 5 shades. So this is the shade Dog Bane. So pretty. I'll swatch it for you so you can kind of see what it looks like. So it changes from green to blue. You can really see the shift in it. So I'm gonna use that all over the lid, because I think that contrast with this having a lot of warmth in it as well will play nicely with the colors on the rest of the look. And I don't mind using the actual applicator. I know a lot of people will swap it over to a brush. For me, it really doesn't, I don't mind, because I get a much cleaner application this way. But look how pretty that looks. And I'm just going over the whole lid. And I could have easily pulled out one of my Clionadh Cosmetics multi-chromes and done the same kind of thing, but I'm trying to play with these a little bit more since these are so pricey and they go bad so quick. Because these little puppies are $28 a piece, which is ridiculous. I used my Sephora points and used it to get one of the $100 gift cards. Actually, I got 2 of them, so these didn't cost me anything, because if not, these are ridiculously priced. They're great, but you don't need all 5 colors. I bought them because I had a gift card. So that is the look for now. I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face makeup, and then I'll come back and we'll do the lower lash line. So as you can see, I have all of the rest of my makeup on except for lower lash line. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take and grab the NYX Emerald Cut eyeliner, because I think I'm gonna do green on the lower lash line, because there are some shades of green that I really don't play with. And to me, the palette, the main stars of this are the blues and the greens. I mean, those are what most people are going to be looking for when they purchase this. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is take the 207 brush, and we're gonna first go into that Alp shade, which is that grungier green. And I'm gonna apply that because I think that'll help tie into the blue that's on top. Get some of that off because a little bit of that goes a long way. I'll say that. Not bad. So I'm gonna grab, this is a Sigma detailed blending brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Big Apple, which is the Kelly green that's in there. And I'm just gonna use that to really kind of soften up the edges. Isn't that pretty? I've definitely got Uncle Fester eyes going on today. Okay, now I'm gonna go into, this is the Sigma blending brush. It's a little bit bigger. And I'm going to go into the shade Baggage, which is that lime green. And really fluff that along the edges. There we go. Almost into, kind of to pull the eye up. Okay, now I'm gonna go into a clean brush. This is the Kaleidos S2 brush. And just use that really along the edges to make sure everything is nice and blended and smooth. I love how that came out. I'm gonna grab my foundation brush and just kind of go over the edges a little bit because I don't want the green to go too far down because then it'll sink into the crevices and creases, and I don't like that because then it makes me look sickly. So, last but not least, I need to pick something for my inner corner, and, oh, I didn't do lips. We'll use the Just a Tint Lippy Hair and Color Pot. This is in Cherry Picking. I love these things. This is one of my favorite formulas from ColourPop. If not my favorite formula. Goes on easy. Very easy to apply, and they feel good. They're super duper lightweight. So, I've got my KVD Vegan Beauty Alchemist palette that I've had forever. And I'm gonna go into the blue sapphire shade right here because I think that that would work as a beautiful inner corner highlight with this look. Really kind of pop that blue out. Yeah, look how pretty that looks. These don't look like much, but you see how bright that is? And this is just the S5 by Kaleidos. I love the size of this brush. Perfect. And some mascara to my lower lash line. I feel like there's a hair in my face. And that is the finished look. Now I feel like got a hair. I'm not, like, one of my hairs is like stuck to my nose. Did y'all ever do that? Get like a random hair and it's like stuck to your nose and it just drives you nuts. But all in all, the Worldie palette is beautiful. Now remember, this thing is absolutely massive. The shadows are a great quality. There is not a whole lot of shimmers in this palette, which it seems like a lot lately. There have been palettes that are very matte heavy with not a lot of shimmers, other than the Natasha Denona. But I am happy with it, so if you're interested in purchasing it, I think it's a good deal. But I'll never tell you to just go pick something up. I don't think anything, you know, because all of these shades could be duped out. But I am very happy with my finished look. But I guess that's it. So we shall see y'all tomorrow. Bye.